My name is Paul Roberts. I'm the Managing Director of Predictive Discovery Limited, and I'm here to give you a brief introduction to the company, and particularly to the exciting new gold discovery we've made in Guinea and West Africa in the past few months. Standard disclaimer. Predictive is an exploration company. We've been operating in West Africa for more than a decade, and during that time we've acquired a large portfolio of projects, exciting projects. They are divided into two categories. We do see these green labels. They're projects which are largely under joint venture with well-credentialed partners in Burkina Faso and Cote D'Ivoire. But our 100% focus is in the Sigiri Basin of Guinea, and this is where we've made this exciting Kaninko discovery. The corporate overview, the significant points on this slide are particularly the great change that occurred to us on the 15th of April this year, only a few months ago now. We were trading at very low levels until we made the announcement of the Kaninko discovery, and our share price leapt up to at 7 cents from trading previously at 0.6 cents, so a huge jump up. And since that, and on the back of that, we've done a $9 million raise, Australian dollar raise, on the back of those results before costs. And our share price is currently sitting around 8 cents, so it's maintained its level. So we have a market capitalisation currently of about $66 million. Predictive has been a small company. Obviously, we're entering a new phase now, and so we've maintained a minimum size board. Myself, Managing Director, a geologist, an explorationist, been with the company from the very beginning. Philip Jackson, our chairman, a corporate lawyer. Stephen Michael comes from a corporate finance background. A well-balanced board for a small company. Obviously, going forward, given that we may well be on a development path, we'll be looking at bringing other expertise on the board to augment what we have already, to make sure that we can take this through to development smoothly and effectively. My colleagues, Barry Murphy, the chief geologist, very experienced structural geologist, very good at project generation, and has had an enormous impact on our discovery track record in West Africa over the last decade. Amy Naganari, principal geologist, guy on the ground in Guinea, doing a fantastic job and running what's quite a large program right now. Here's a geological map. We're in northeastern Guinea, the Sigiri Basin. The yellow and the green are the rocks that host gold mineralization. You can see our projects in orange and blue. Kaninko is the key project. We're in a very well mineralized part of the Sigiri Basin. The Sigiri Basin itself is very underexplored and has enormous potential. Indeed, Kaninko, even though it's close to a couple of known deposits, is a virgin discovery. No previous drilling on that site at all. This is the discovery slide. We're looking obviously at satellite imagery. The pink outline is the outline of power auger drilling, which has turned out to be the key discovery method in this area. 18 holes averaging 1.5 grams define that broad anomaly, roughly 300 metres wide and 500 metres long. The drill results within it are highlighted by the red bars, and the feature of this slide is that most of the holes, which are the little black lines, are obscured by the red bars, which means, of course, that most of the holes were mineralised and over very considerable width. And we haven't drilled a hole of this anomaly by any means. And we had some very nice high-grade intercepts. 46 metres with 6.6 being the standout, 42 metres of 2.9. And as you can see from this cross-section, this is the southern cross-section. These holes, these largely mineralised holes, extend over really quite considerable depths. Widths, only down to about 40 metres depth so far. So the width of reportable mineralisation here is 120 metres. It's open to the east, it's open to the west, as well as at depth. And most of that mineralisation we would expect would go into a mill because it's soft, because the gold recovery is likely to be high because there's very little waste rock to mine. All drilled into this very deeply weathered bedrock, which is called saprolite. Moving 3 kilometres away to Bankan Creek, another prospect, the other prospect on which we've done drilling. These are also air core and RC holes. Again, they're quite shallow. They're only going down to 38 metres vertical maximum. So what you can see is in the middle of this cross section, 44 metres of 2.06 grams. Again, a similar kind of hole to what we saw up at Northeast Bankan. What's most interesting is that this hole goes down into fresh rock. We have very little information on fresh rock so far. Obviously, to generate a very large resource potential, then we want to see mineralisation down in fresh rock. And this result, the only result that we got in fresh rock so far, is very interesting because we've got 80 metres of 3 grams, which is indeed higher grade than what came above. So the possibility that grade will increase or at the very least stay the same in the fresh rock obviously is of great interest as we go forward defining what the global resource is on this very exciting project. These are results that were announced 6 weeks after we brought Power Augurs back to the project after we got this remarkable result on the stock market. We've extended the length of the zone now to 1 kilometre, so we've doubled the length of the zone. And then you can see right on the northern line, we've got this 6.8 grams. This is over 16 metres. The bottom 10 metres in deeply where the bedrock was 10 metres of 10.88 grams. So clearly there's interesting potential to the north, and indeed there's potential to the south. And we're now in the business of trying to explore all of those areas. So Northeast Bankan and Bankan Creek are the known prospects where we've done drilling, and we're well funded with $9 million raised to be able to do a very aggressive program to see just how big these mineralised systems are. And obviously there's a lot of room to grow within, particularly within 200 square kilometres of tenement. And so what we're doing is a 3-component program: the Power Auger drilling, which was the discovery tool and defined this anomaly that we've drilled on subsequently up at Northeast Bankan. And so we're doing that in a number of areas over this property, to the north and to the south of Northeast Bankan, to the west of Bankan Creek. And then reverse circulation drilling, not too fast initially, but systematic drilling of the oxide mineralisation that we see at Northeast Bankan on this kilometre-long zone. And diamond drilling, just exploratory diamond drilling. We've completed 5 holes so far. We're waiting for assays from that. We're waiting for the assays from the RC drilling, but we're very interested to know what gold distribution is like at depth, particularly at Northeast Bankan, and then metallurgical test work. And all of this driving towards getting a resource calculation done by the middle of next year. Elsewhere, we do have the other ground, as mentioned. The more interesting projects are Kankan, where we've done a little bit of drilling and waiting for results, and Kundian, which is quite a large project and very close to a developing mine at Tri-K. So some more work there, but the bulk of our effort and the bulk of our drilling is on Kaninko. Over in Cote d'Ivoire, a lot of projects, but for Kesadougou North and Bundiali, the standouts, both with Resolute Mining. We have a 23.5% contributing interest. Resolute, the operator. Discoveries are both for Kesadougou North and Bundiali, and we're active currently doing drilling with 2 rigs on Bundiali, and we reported some very interesting results in April from Kesadougou North. So these are the results. These are follow up on early results that were reported back last year on this discovery. Good widths, some very good grades. We now know this mineralisation extends down to 180 metres depth. And then in the context of a lot of potential along strike to find more of these bodies. So at a very interesting stage, and we're watching with great interest what Resolute is going to produce. And finally, over in Burkina Faso, a smaller ground portfolio there, but quite significant. The discovery that we made, very nice mineralisation, thick body, not too large, 184,000 ounces, a 500,000 ounce exploration target within 10 kilometres, and more mineralisation further afield. But work currently is suspended there because of some physical risk concerns. So clearly the highest priority is Guinea, the second is Cote d'Ivoire, and the third is Burkina Faso in our portfolio, but a lot of potential in the rest of the portfolio beyond what we've got at Kaninko. Thank you very much for listening to this summary of Predictive Discovery.